Hey everybody, welcome back around to the Blog and Grill. I'm your host Doug here with your video blog for August 21st, 2014. Got a great blog once again planned for you tonight. We got 2 days with the Cardinals and the 49ers. We're going to go to Bristol for a look at NASCARs. There's 3 races till the chase. I got your New York sports update for you, as well as we have some injury news from the Giants and the Yankees get a big win. But first, I want to talk Hunt for October and a big-time injury for one of the teams in playoff contention in the West. The Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim suffer a major loss with the going down of Garrett Richards, who will be out for the next 6 to 9 months. He tore his left patellar tendon in his knee. He's going to be out for an extended period of time. This is the guy who was the #1 starter on this team at 13-4 with a 2.53 ERA. Kind of a reborn year for him, and he's been pitching well. Just how this team's been playing, it's hard for me to say that since they lost their best pitcher, the Angels are done. I think the 2 things that are going to help them is that they're hitting the ball a whole lot better, they're scoring a lot more runs, and also I do believe that the Oakland A's are really starting to struggle as a team. So that is why I am going to take the Angels to still win this division and still finish this season strong. And I like the Angels in this division still, besides of the injury to Garrett Richards, which is heartbreaking. All right, let's go to the division standings. Baltimore commanding 9-game lead over Toronto and the Yankees in the East. Kansas City still holds a 1.5 lead over Detroit. The Angels have a 1.5 lead over Oakland. And in the National League, Washington really breaking away, 10 straight wins now. They are now have a 7.5 game lead over Atlanta. St. Louis a 1.5 back of Milwaukee in the Central, and out west the Dodgers leading San Francisco by 3 games. And in the wild card standings are pretty crazy as well. Seattle just a half game out of that second wild card. The Yankees are 4 back, Toronto 4 back, Cleveland 4.5 back, and in the National League, Atlanta a 1.5 back of San Francisco for the second wild card, and Pittsburgh 2.5 back. Miami's still in the hunt at only 4 back, so the Miami Marlins still playing some pretty good ball for a team that wasn't thought to win more than 70 games. All right, NFL 2-a-day time. Let's go to the Arizona Cardinals. Last year, the Cardinals missed the playoffs. They finished at 10-6, one of 3 teams in NFL history to win 10 games and not make the playoffs. Great defensively, very balanced offensively as well. Their draft, I'm going to give them a B. I like the variation of players they brought in, but they really didn't go out and get any great players in any great positions. Key additions for this team, they're going to bring in Tyrann Mathieu, the free safety, the Honey Badger, who last year did not play due to injury. They also bring in wide receiver Ted Ginn Jr. and cornerback Antonio Cromartie. Really, the only key departure they had was the leaving of running back Rashard Mendenhall. I think the big question is, can they play better in their division? I see this team having to win out of their 6 division games, probably win 4 division games, so you're looking at a split with Seattle and San Francisco and sweeping the Rams. I think that's going to be a tall order. I don't think they will be able to get that done. I think they take 1 step back, but I think it's because the Rams are a little better this year. They finish at 9-7. All right, we'll come back in a little bit with our second 2-a-day, but now I want to go to NASCAR as NASCAR heads to Bristol this weekend. 3 races till the chase. Tony Stewart will once again sit out. Not a surprise by any means. I don't know if he'll race again this year. Of course, we know Jeff Gordon won last week, so now Jeff is the points leader by 3 points. 16 top 10 finishes, 3 wins on the season for Jeff. And the standings are getting tight. We still have 12 guys with wins, and the wild card and the final 4 spots could be locked in by points. Matt Kenseth in 13th, Newman 14th, Clint Boyer 15th, Greg Biffle gets in the 16th spot due to Kyle Larson's bad day. My key drivers to watch this weekend are going to be the 2 rookies in 18th and 19th in points, Austin Dillon and Kyle Larson. I think they both have run good at Bristol from the Nationwide Series, and we'll see if they can get it done this weekend and lock themselves into one of those final spots in the chase, as a win at this point would automatically put you into the chase with only 2 races left. All right, let's go to our second two-a-day. It is the San Francisco 49ers, who last year finished at 12-4, lost in the NFC title game to the Seattle Seahawks, the Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks, on that play where Richard Sherman deflected it to Malcolm Smith, and the pass was not caught by Crabtree. 49ers, top 5 rushing team and a top 10 defense, really struggled throwing the ball vertically, had a lot of injuries. Crabtree, Bolden, just some guys that could not stay on the field. Draft, I'm going to give them a B+. I really like 2 of the guys they got. They get a good running back in Carlos Hyde out of Ohio State, and a very underrated wide receiver in Bruce Ellington out of South Carolina. Key additions, they bring in Jonathan Martin on the offensive line. I think he's going to fit good in Jim Harbaugh's system, which he played under at Stanford. They also bring in another weapon in wide receiver Brandon Lloyd. A little more on the offensive line with the center Marcus Martin coming in, and they also get better in the secondary with the safety Antoine Bethea. Key departures, they lose the cornerback Carlos Rogers, but I think bringing in Bethea will be a big enough balance for that. I think the big question for this team is, can their pass attack improve? Their pass attack was ranked 30th out of 32 teams last year, and I think with the pickup of Brandon Lloyd, with Michael Crabtree being on the field all year and Kaepernick having another year in the system, he's going to have more effective time throwing the ball down the field. Last year they finished 12-4. I've been finishing at 12-4 again this year, and we'll see on Tuesday who I have winning this division. Time for your New York sports update. Yankees win today 3-0 over the Astros, a complete game shutout for Brandon McCarthy, who's now 5-2 as a Yankee. You can pretty much make a case that Brandon McCarthy is the ace right now on this staff. The former ace of the staff earlier on in the year, Masahiro Tanaka, will throw live BP Saturday before their game against the White Sox, as his elbow is still feeling good. We'll see if he gets back for the final month of the season. And just a little preseason injury note for you, Odell Beckham Jr. out with a hamstring injury versus the Jets this weekend. We'll see if he can get on the field for the final preseason game in the next week. All right, so we're going to be back on Tuesday as we're going to do Hunt for October. We'll do some two-a-days with the Seahawks and the Rams, and we'll also hit up some headlines. I'm off to Darien Lake tomorrow, so I will not be around. I'm going out with some of my friends, so you guys know who you are. We're going to have a great weekend. Check me out on sportsmindednews.com. Also follow me on Twitter at YankeeBaller415. You can comment, question, subscribe to my page. Thanks for tuning in to the Blogging Girl. I'll be back on Tuesday. Have a great weekend and watch a lot of sports. We got a great weekend ahead with the Little League World Series wrapping up.